Welcome back to Indigo Smokes, Tarot, and Astrology. I'm doing the second video for the Venus series, which is Venus in Taurus, where it is at home, where it is domicile. Just to get into what Venus is obviously it's a feminine planet. It's a benefic planet. It represents our self-expression, our creativity, our love nature, our love language, what seduces and charms us and pulls us in, what makes us attracted to other people, what about us attracts, charms, and seduces others. It's our receptivity, our love affairs. It rules over women, our love language, our love nature, our aesthetic, our taste, our style, our vibe, our leisure time, what gives us pleasure, what entertains us, the kind of music we listen to, the kind of art we indulge in, our values, our self-worth. Once again, our power of attraction, how we draw people and things to us without having to physically go after them or try. And Venus can also tell us how to best attract abundance and receive, or how to magnetize things to us. Let me see what else. I would say that while Venus does kind of refer to what may come out in your sexuality, I feel like it's more so about the build up to sex. You know, it's the dating, it's the flirting, it's the talking, it's the what seduces you, that kind of thing. What you value, what you're attracted to, what others are attracted to in you, what your type is, who you attract. I feel like that's pretty much it. Love, relationships, money. Your relationship with money, how you view it, how you spend it, what you spend it on, the kind of gifts you like to receive, the kind of gifts you like to give. What else? I may have wrote down something else for what Venus represents. There's so many different ways and things that it can cover. No, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So Taurus is an earth sign. It's ruled by Venus. Once again, Venus is at home in Taurus because it's its natural ruler. It's an earth sign. It's a fixed sign. It can come off as a more passive or reserved sign as well. So when Venus is in Taurus, this is someone who is probably very indulgent, who maybe has very expensive taste, likes the finer things in life, even if it's not, overt or ostentatious. It's subtle quality. I would say quality over quantity would be a good motto for those who have Venus in Taurus. I see Venus in Taurus as typically having a very classy or well put together aesthetic, male or female. Someone who has an eye for what looks good, whether that's fashion, whether that's interior decorating. They just have an eye for what looks pretty. Very sensual. Taurus is all about the five senses, tasting. Once again, Venus in Taurus, being as sensual as it is, it likes to indulge in all of the things that are going to stimulate its senses. So it's a food lover, a sleep lover, a sex lover, a comfort lover. Venus in Taurus is all about creature comforts, pampering, being stable, being secure. I would say, while some people may say that Venus in Taurus, they could be, lazy, I would say that on average, people with a lot of Taurus or people with Venus in Taurus, I would say they work hard, play hard. Love of food, love of sleep. They can be very stubborn. Mind you, this is a fixed sign, so they are prone to wanting long-term connections, long-term friendships, long-term relationships. Prone to commitment, can be very loyal, very devoted. They can be slow to open up, reserved initially, but there's a lot of passion beneath the surface because its sister sign is Scorpio, and Scorpio is all about what lurks beneath. Artistically inclined, Venus is a creative, artistic planet. So people who have Venus in Taurus, they may be very talented as far as cooking, or as far as making music, or styling themselves. Drawing, painting, sculpting, anything where they can like, be hands-on and create a vibe, create an aesthetic. I would say Venus and Taurus, they're most likely very calm, slow to anger, polite, charming, most usually attractive, like classically attractive. Let me see what else is here. They're very reliable, very loyal, very consistent. I would say they pride themselves on that. And others rely on them to be that, to be loyal, to be solid, to be, responsible, to always be there, to be the rock. I would say that they fulfill those shoes very well. Very consistent people. They value loyalty, they value consistency, they value security, they value commitment. A lot of them may value tradition, being stable, being dependable. They like those things in themselves, they like those things in their partners. They may have very simple, their needs are typically very simple, good bed, good sleep, good mate. Like they want to be able to stop and smell the roses consistently. So pampering, indulging, spa days, sleeping in, relaxing. They know how to kick back and just chill. They like that. I would say typically very peaceful people. I would say Venus and Taurus, they probably have like doe-like eyes, where they look kind of sleepy, or their eyes are big, or something about their eyes just kind of pulls you in. Their voices, Taurus rules the throat, the voice. So Venus and Taurus people, once again, going back to creativity, going back to music, they may have very pretty or smooth or deep voices, men and women. Something about their voices is just very pretty or attractive or just smooth. Like you can just, I would say somebody who maybe has Venus and Taurus outside of music, they can maybe even be good in radio just because you have an attractive voice, or they have an attractive voice. Very slow to do things. Mind you, this is earth energy, this is fixed energy, this is the bull. It goes at its own pace. Takes a while for Venus and Taurus people to warm up to others because, mind you, earth, it's practical, so it's not prone to rushing into things or making rash decisions. I would say they need time to warm up. They need time to think about things and, see your character and all of that. As far as love language, I would say Venus and Taurus, food is a love language. Gifts are a love language, but touch, physical touch, they do have high libidos. They do like foreplay typically. They usually have the ability to go for a very long time as well. So physical touch would be the first and foremost love language. Very affectionate, touchy-feely. Food, yes. Sleep, yes. Quality time and loyalty. Those, I would say, all of those things are part of their, not only just their love language. A part of that is their values as well. They want to be surrounded by quality. They want to be surrounded by beauty. They want to be surrounded by comfort. They probably like very tactile, appealing fabrics for their clothing, for their bed. So this would be the type of person where you walk in their house and the covers, the pillows, and their favorite clothing, it's very cozy, it's very comfortable, it's quality. So like cashmere sweaters, real fur, decent quality leather. Like they're into how things feel, as well as how things look, but how things feel. And if they feel luxurious, or if they feel comfortable, if they feel cozy, that appeals to someone who has Venus and Taurus. Let me see what else. I would say Venus and Taurus, they have a need to indulge, they have a need to be pampered, and they will splurge on their creature comforts, whether that's expensive chocolates, a fine wine, once again, saving and spending money on like expensive quality fabrics. a high thread count, bedspread, like things like that. That's very Venus and Taurus, in what they wouldn't have a problem spending their money on. Let me see, what else did I put here. I would say good with money. The ones that are balanced, I would say they're good with money, both saving it and spending it. Like I said, they're more about quality over quantity, so they typically know how to keep themselves within the parameters of, not breaking the bank for what they want. They're the type that will save to buy something quality, something that they really want, and then, save accordingly. But some of them can maybe overindulge in that way, but I would say most of them, they know how to prioritize, because ultimately they want to know that they have enough money, that they're secure, that they don't have to worry about the future in that way. So I feel like that's what keeps them from overindulging. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a minute. I had to get it back. What else? Some celebrities, male and female, who have Venus and Taurus. We have Prince, Johnny Depp, Kanye West, Lisa Left Eye. I don't know if it's Lana or Lana Del Rey, but she has this placement as well. Princess Diana had this placement. Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle, Grace Jones. The only one out of these that surprised me that they had Venus and Taurus was Grace Jones. But looking at her aesthetic, even though her aesthetic is very shocking and striking, she, especially more so in her heyday, like you can just tell the way she adorned herself, it was the finest qualities, even though she had an eccentric look to her. So yes, she looks very expensive typically, or more so in her heyday. I haven't seen her as far as how she looks now to know how she dresses, but I'm sure it's still the same. An interesting thing about Kanye West, so once again, Venus in male charts, it represents the kind of woman that they're attracted to, their ideal mate, what once again attracts them, charms them, seduces them, just pulls them in. Kanye West with this placement, I've just looked into this right before I pressed record. I was like, wow. So his Venus in Taurus is very much active in his chart, because two of his his most well-known exes, being Kim Kardashian and Amber Rose, they're both Libras, which is obviously ruled by Venus, and ironically enough, their birthday is on the same exact day. Different years, but same day, and I think it's October 21st. So he definitely is attracted to Venus women who are pretty, women who have shapely bodies. So the men are attracted to voluptuous women, very pretty women with nice voices, soft voices. I think I already said voluptuous bodies. The women with this placement can have very pretty faces, very picturesque, voluptuous, curvy bodies as well. What else is here? Also, Prince with this placement, he had like wonderful taste in women. All of the women ever associated with Prince are fucking gorgeous. So that definitely shows Venusian women were definitely his type. And obviously the way that Prince adorned himself, like shit was just expensive, from the way his hair was cut to the fabrics that he wore. Like, he was a very luxurious guy with luxurious taste in clothing, objects, and women. So very prominent energy there. I don't pay enough attention to Johnny Depp, but I think he has a decent voice, a nice voice. Obviously he's creative, he's into acting, but outside of that, I don't really know much about him. Let me see who else. Grace Jones, she has a very deep voice. Going back to that, both men and women with this Venus and Taurus placement can have deep voices. What else? Musical talent, creative talent, fashion designers, interior designers, as interests, as hobbies, as jobs, as ways of making money, natural talents that they have. They may have a distaste for anything that is like flamboyant or ostentatious, or anything that would maybe be gaudy or tacky, or not to call Leo gaudy or tacky, but Leos are more flashy in the way that they may adorn themselves. That could be something that would turn off a Venus in Taurus or a Taurus dominant individual, because they like subtle, classy quality. Whereas, Leo associated with the sun and gold, it likes the flashiest gold, diamonds, things that grab attention. So while both, I would say, Leo and Taurus have expensive taste, the things that they'll spend their money on are totally different. Typically Venus in Taurus isn't as loud as someone who has Venus in Leo or dominant Leo in their chart. So that's just both expensive, but it's expressed in a totally different way. Else, Venus and Taurus, they're people who they like being in relationships. They're relationship oriented people. They need harmony, they need peace, they need to be surrounded by things that are pleasing to their eyes. Their home needs to be their haven. It needs to feel safe, it needs to feel cozy, and it needs to be filled with luxurious quality things. And they need to have money in their savings account. Venus and Taurus is a type to make investments because they're thinking long-term security. In some expressions, Venus and Taurus, they can marry for security, or just marry very, very well in a way that it benefits them financially. What else? Some Venus and Taurus, they may show up as like being hoarders, where they just have a hard time letting go of things. Sometimes this can translate over into people. Once Venus and Taurus is comfortable, it can fall into routine, or it can fall into like kind of like a rut as far as their relationships, because once again, they're all about comfort and they like being there. So let's say if they're with someone who has like a lot of fire in their chart, or air, who needs more stimulation, more variety, that could be like an issue in that kind of relationship. So Venus and Taurus, they have to be careful of getting so comfortable in their relationship that things become monotonous. But I would say Venus and Taurus, they thrive in relationships, but once they're comfortable, they can fall prey to staying in relationships that maybe aren't healthy, or where the only thing that they really get is financial security. They would stay in relationships like that because it's what they know, it's what they're used to, it's their pattern, so they just stick it out. So sometimes that loyalty, that devoted energy, that committed energy can backfire on Taurus when it's not with the right person, or they're not getting enough out of the relationship. I would say Venus Taurus is very patient. Once again, earth signs usually are. What else? Very possessive and territorial in love. The Tauruses that I know are very generous, but I've heard that they can be like possessive, or maybe a little stingy with their the people in their life, or the objects that they buy people, the gifts that they give. I haven't noticed that, but it's a possibility. More so if they are like if they're more conservative, I could see that showing up, because they're so concerned about their financial security that they don't want to spend anything unnecessarily. But I feel like with the Tauruses that I know, I found them to be very generous. Alright, I think we're on to the next page. I would say also, going back to the patience of a Venus and Taurus, going back to the Venusian earth calm nature typically the Venus and Taurus individuals have, I would say they like to avoid drama. Anything that's going to come off chaotic, too unpredictable, too dramatic, too consistently dramatic, they're not going to feel comfortable dealing with that on an ongoing basis, and they may try to avoid that altogether. They They don't like fake people. They're not typically ones to put up a facade. They aren't ones to rush into relationships or situations or decisions of any kind. They're going to want to think it over. And once their mind is made up, it's most likely going to stay that way. Once they find something that they like, they're most likely going to be loyal to that, whether that is a person, whether that is a brand, whether that is a way of doing things. Once they find something that they like and it works, they stick to it, and it's very hard to get them to not do that anymore. So these are the types too. They find a brand that they like, they're going to stick with it. There's nothing that you can say. For example, it's like me saying I'm a Nike's girl, and there's nothing that you can do to make me go to any other brand. I only wear Nike's. That's something that a Venus and Taurus would do. Or I only like lambskin leather, or I only wear cashmere, like different things like that. Those would be the non-negotiables of someone who maybe has Venus and Taurus. Once again, it's a very physical sign, so they are all about cuddles and massage and foreplay, and they have no problem taking those things very slowly. So they're not ones to rush through experiences that engage their senses. So yes, they are the wife hubby type. That's typically their goal. They're not typically into casual shit. No. I think Venus and Taurus, they typically have a very opulent but classy, sophisticated look and feel to them, where it's like they can pull off whatever and they just make it look amazing. What else is here? The way to their heart is through their senses. So an ideal date for a Venus and Taurus, for some it could be maybe either going to a very expensive restaurant, where the atmosphere is nice, candles, 5-star, whatever. Or on the flip side, it could also be a nice night in where there's good wine, you're chilling, eating on the sofa, close the night out with sex. That either one of those alternatives would be like a good date night or date idea for a Venus and Taurus. A spa day, couples massages, anything along those lines. Venus and Taurus would probably be very satisfied with that. So just spoil them, pamper them, give them those kind of experiences, and they will be happy campers. What else? They respect those who are loyal and dependable to them. They appreciate and typically wait before they open up. You have to show them that you value them. That can take on many different forms, but typically, even though they may not jump into sex or jump into some kind of casual arrangement, just your physical presence of being around them consistently and giving them hugs and respectfully being in their personal space, they would get used to you and they would slowly open up. So even if they don't give you sex immediately, they still would like the physical presence and the physical affection to get them to the point where they know that they can trust you and they can go there with you. I would say they may like things that are natural and organic. If that's one expression of this. If not, on the flip side, they can be people to indulge in, high quality products, creams, nice perfumes, colognes. It could go either way. Sometimes it can be a mixture of both, where they want, more expensive products, but they also want them to be natural. So yes, I want an anti-aging cream, but I need it to be vegan, or I need it to be all natural. Either one of those expressions could show up with Venus and Taurus. Given the people that I named, they typically have a very natural look to them. You won't see, like, even if they have on makeup, it probably won't look caked on, like it's just too much. Less is more with the Venus and Taurus expression of itself. It typically how they dress themselves, and for women, like how they do their makeup, if they decide to wear makeup at all, it's going to have a very natural look to it, like they just woke up like that, or like it was just effortless. Um, I think I already said they have attractive voices, male and female. They can excel as musicians. They can do anything in regards to like interior designing, landscaping, gardening, fashion designing, any kind of artistry, being chefs. All of those things could be things they like to indulge in, hobbies they like to do, or things that could help them on a career or a financial level. Anything related to harmony, beauty, and indulging the senses is going to be an interest of theirs or a skill of theirs. They desire to build something and have something solid, typically in all aspects of their life, from job, career, relationships, lifestyle. They want to find their pattern, they want to find their groove, and they want to stick with it and ride it till the wheels fall off. That's typically what they want. What else? I already said they can be committed to a fault, even if it's a stagnant relationship, even if they're only getting like half of what they want from the relationship, because it's what they know, they'll stick with it. Once they're rooted in something, it's hard to move them. That's relationships, that's thoughts, that's habits, that's lifestyles, it's everything. Once they get comfortable, they are firmly planted like a goddamn oak tree. So yes. I already said they prefer quality. They'll seek out the best quality in whatever area, but it's not in a materialistic way. It's just they want whatever they spend their money on to last, basically. High quality in whatever it is that they like. Gifts for this placement, both that they would receive or that they would like to receive or that they would give, would be once again like perfumes, colognes, expensive fabrics, cashmere, leather, silk, plants, flowers, music, food, wine, a spa gift card, cognac, like just nice things that help you escape, things that make you feel better, things that soothe you. They seek safety and they seek a peace of mind, and a lot of times they will do that through, creating a certain lifestyle for themselves and reaching a certain material goal that they have. They don't do well in consistently chaotic or unpredictable environments or relationships. It's unsettling to their nerves. They can't and don't want to deal with that. This would be the type of energy they like, peace and quiet. They want to lead simple lives. The men with this placement are attracted to feminine, tasteful, well-groomed, pretty face, pretty body, nice voices. That is what they are attracted to. Classic beauty, maybe like that of a pinup or old Hollywood, or think like Halle Berry or Charlize Theron or Marilyn Monroe. That would draw in a Venus and Taurus man. Women with nice, sweet voices, maybe with a calm demeanor. Venus and Taurus men probably wouldn't like women who are too loud or too flashy or too masculine. They wouldn't be attracted to that. Obviously, they would want a woman who is loyal to them, who is consistent, who they can depend on, who they can chill with. Women who can cook, women who can dress, women who can remain calm. Obviously, someone's going to remain faithful, who brings no drama, no complications, nothing overly emotional, just somebody they can chill with and vibe with and thrive with. The women, they may attract very generous men, gift givers. These people can be very laid back. Sometimes they can have their laid back demeanor can show up in how they dress themselves, but even then they'll still be dressed down in like nice quality materials, even if their look is super simple or basic. These women are typically sensual. Oftentimes they're very pretty. They know how to dress. They're very indulgent. Like I said, they have a classy vibe to them. Although in some expressions, this placement, they can fall under gold diggers. They can. That would depend on a lot of other things in the chart, though, or aspects. Let me see. These women they're probably good with money, financially stable in their own right, or they attract everything that they need to be financially stable. But they typically have their own plans for how they're going to make sure that they're good financially, whether that's through what they do or what they attract, and what others do for them. Financially savvy, artistic, eye for aesthetics. These women probably have an eye for profitable ventures, obviously men and women with this placement. This placement can also be very private and very secretive. That's Scorpio energy coming into play, of kind of being self-protective. Like I said, some people with this placement, they can be very old-fashioned in their values or in their aesthetic. Very affectionate. Okay. But they are prone to falling into routine and staying there. I already said they're patient, slow moving. Initially meeting these people, they may come off very quiet, very reserved. I would say, like I said, although some people with a lot of Taurus energy or Venus Taurus, they can be called lazy. I feel like the ones that I know, they're very hardworking, very like solid, reliable people. A lot of them may love nature. That may be a way for them to decompress, is to go and, maybe walk barefoot in the dirt, the sand, maybe, working with herbs and plants. That could be something that they do in their spare time, or something that they're interested in doing at some point in their life. In the shadow aspect, I would say that this could be a very hedonistic placement, overly indulgent, territorial, possessive, jealous, very stubborn, maybe selfish, maybe too practical, once again, maybe too conservative, maybe too concerned with material things. I would say Venus and Taurus, they love romance, not mushy romance, but just like classic romance. So Venus and Taurus, they may be the type where they love Valentine's Day, just an example. These people are very grounded, very practical. They know how to, plan towards their decisions, their goals. Very persistent, very much wealth focused. Potential hobbies or ventures that they may get into or be attracted to, or something that could bring them a lot of abundance or prosperity, would be, once again, there's cooking, there's painting, there's photography, sculpting, music, making music, playing instruments, making jewelry, singing, gardening, crafting, designing. Anything sensual, anything hands-on, they may have an interest in or be very good at. And I think this is all pretty much saying the same thing. I would say they are suckers for beauty, men and women, but if it only looks good on the surface and it doesn't give them like that security or that consistency that they want, they'll be turned off. But I would say Venus and Taurus, they are suckers for beauty, suckers for attractive people. But if those people have no substance, if those people can't provide loyalty or security, they're most likely not going to stick with them too long. Like I said, they don't do well in chaotic or unpredictable relationships, situations, arrangements, etc. They value dependability, trustworthiness, security, comfort. They're happiest when they have a partner who gives them that sense of peace, that sense of security, who can offer them material security, material comfort, physical affection, and just indulging in luxurious or beautiful things, activities, receiving gifts. They are at their best when they can be in a relationship that supplies them with those things, with those experiences, with that feeling of, okay, I'm safe, I'm good, this person has my back. Yeah, so basically, if you want to put this person, cater to their senses, soothe them, caress them, feed them, pamper them, protect them, show them that you are loyal, that you are dependable, that you are going somewhere in life, that you are worth holding on to. present things in a very pretty way. They don't yeah, presentation does matter with this placement. Let's see, I feel like that's the gist. There's like half a page left. Some may accuse like Venus and Taurus of like being more passive in regards to them relying more so on their good looks, their charm, their energy to attract others, as opposed to actually make anything happen. Like I said, Venus and Taurus, they are typically initially reserved people, so they're just going to put the vibes out there when it comes to like maybe approaching people or making new connections. They're just going to put the vibes out there, and that's how they're going to do it. I don't see a lot of Taurus people without fire in their chart being super outgoing. You know, typically they let their partners, romantic and platonic, like come to them. That's just what I've noticed. But a part of their shadow would be also being demanding or shallow or greedy, or just being too rigid, too predictable, too overbearing when they feel threatened by another person or some kind of situation. They may view material security as more important than spiritual or emotional. They do not like to be rushed or forced into anything. They want to go at their own pace and their own time, and once they dig their heels in, that's where it's most likely staying. I would say Venus and Taurus, they would definitely fall under the lady and the freak. So lady in the streets, freak in the bed, I would definitely call that Venus and Taurus. Women and men as well. I feel like that is it. I talked about the relationship with money. They have no problem saving up for what they want. They do want quality over quantity. They will splurge on their preferred creature comforts, whether that's they're always going to go to the spa, they're always going to get a massage or get their feet, their hands done, or they're always going to be loyal to this particular brand. They're always going to wear this $300 cologne if that's the cologne that they like, or the perfume that they like. Those are also the kind of gifts that they will give. They are typically planning for their financial stability long term, and they're typically good with that. This placement could also work with money or work in the banking or accounting industry, because they are practical. They may be good with numbers, they may be good with money in and of itself. Yeah, they love food, they love sleep, they love sex. They typically want a simple, high quality life and relationship, and they want to find their groove and stick with it. So I think that is it. Yeah, these people may be homebodies as well. Yeah, so I feel like I covered the major points of this placement for men, for women. Yeah, if you resonate with this, let me know. If you feel like I left anything out, please put that in the comments. I appreciate any and all feedback. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. It helps with the algorithms. Thank you to any new followers. I noticed that I got like maybe 10 over the past week or so thank you. But yeah, I feel like I covered everything, and if you feel like I missed anything, let me know. I will see you sooner rather than later in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this cleared up some things for you as far as astrology. Maybe this is your placement, or someone with this placement. I hope it put things into perspective and it makes sense for you. Other than that, I appreciate you for watching. I thank you, and I will talk to you soon.